I booked the flight at 2 a.m. in the Somali internet cafe under my bedsit. I used to have a laptop, but I sold it. Not because I needed the money especially, though I would have soon enough anyway, because I couldn't get a job. They put a picture of us in the newspaper, you see. A picture of a holiday we had in Crete, about 4 months after I met him. I'm holding my knife and fork above my rare steak, like a cannibal. And his sunburned face is pressed up to mine, his eyes half closed from the long day of drinking in the heat. He just told me he loved me, and we were fucking glowing. It's a good picture for what the newspapers wanted to show. Pure luck. They only got it because it was pinned to my cubicle at work, and I wasn't allowed to go back afterwards, of course. But it wasn't the money. I sold the laptop because I couldn't stop Googling. I've taken 3 days off work. You can do that in a call centre, just take time off. I do it too much because sometimes I can't face the girls with their orange makeup and I'm not being funny faces, or the boys with their cheap shiny ties filled with the reek of Benjamin Hedges swaggering past me. I'm 10 years older than all of them, and because some consultant decided people are more likely to buy fluorescent lighting tubes over the phone if we're all in business dress, I wear the clothes I used to wear before. Nice skirts and blouses, like wearing a ghost. I'm good at it though, I speak with a smile. So they kept me on, even though every day there's a scramble not to have the coal station next to mine. I think those kids' lives must be very small. Pitied them at first, but pity is a luxury for someone like me. And I thought they'd get tired of it, but I've worked there for a year now, and they haven't. I'm handing my passport over, my name, my picture from those days, and then there's me, standing in front of them feeling sick and plucking at the hem of my t-shirt. They're thinking, I know that face. The police offered me relocation, and I wouldn't take it. I regret it now, standing while the airport staff look at my passport, nudge each other, and then wave me through, looking like they'd rather spit at me. I pretend to sleep on the plane, listen to the whimpering of a child in front, the hot, fleshy arm of a South African man pressed to the skin of mine. When he turns his head in my direction, I can smell the sweetness of the drink I hear gently fizzing on his fold-down table. I've wandered into a free lunchtime concert at the Gdansk Music Academy. The tiny old woman has downy hairs on her upper lip, red round glasses. You come to Gdansk before? I shake my head, smile. I haven't been able to stop myself smiling. Because before it was how I pleased people, offering a smile for everything. So now automatically it sneaks under my face like a dirty stain. But the old woman isn't revolted. She simply returns it, nodding gently. The lights dim and she reaches across and pats my wrist in the darkness before the first note is played. I haven't been deliberately touched in a long time, and I allow myself a few rare tears. It's been almost 2 years since his conviction, and a year before that from when he was found and arrested. People forget that I'm the one who called the police. When that little girl went missing, when the pictures of her in a pink hooded sweatshirt smiling into the camera were all over the news, they forget it was me who picked up the phone, because he'd been gone for days, and by then, I just knew it wasn't like the other times when he'd come back smelling animal and needing to be looked after. They forget though. What they remember is that I saw those pictures, the awful pictures of children that he had on his computer, and I didn't tell anyone. I found them more than 3 months before that day, and I could have saved that little girl. They call me a monster. They're right, of course. There's a video of the girl on YouTube, a grainy film of her in her mum's high heels singing a Britney Spears song, swaying her little hips, her face wide open like it is when you're singing to just your mum. At the end, the camera starts chasing her, and she runs away from it and then trips over and starts laughing. I sold my laptop because I couldn't stop watching that. Now, in the recital room filled with soft darkness, the old woman rocks gently beside me to Chopin. I close my eyes and I see her again, Lucy, age 6, stumbling in her 2 big shoes, looking up at the camera, and I weep silently for all the things I should have done. In a moment of silence, the pianist turns his page and the woman reaches across again, leaves her warm, dry hand on my I wake up too early while the pale cold night is still sneaking in the windows and I'm hungry. I didn't want to eat alone last night, so I went to a local shop with rows of fruit, so shiny it looked like they had an old lady with a duster in to polish them. And there I bought a yogurt and a big hard pear. I put on jeans and t-shirt, but when I get outside it's colder than I thought. I can't tell you why I picked Gdansk, really, except an ex-workmate told me she'd been there and there weren't any other Brits. I order a pastry and a cup of tea. The mug has illustrations of farmhouse. My mum had a set just like it. She stopped talking to me years ago though. Slammed my fingers in the door in fear when I tried to push my way into her little flat to try to explain. The case captured the nation's imagination. Because I'd seen those pictures and said nothing for months, the press said I was involved, though the police knew I wasn't. And we were a good-looking couple. He worked in a bank, I worked at a kids' charity. Everyone's worst nightmare, a monster with the face of your neighbour. That's why they splashed it across the papers and the TV. And because of the things he did to her too. They wrote about those in morbid, horrific detail, and I couldn't stop myself reading all about it. I wish I had. It's 3 years tomorrow since he went missing that last time. He'd gone before, days at a time, but I assumed he was on benders, maybe fucking other women. Because food brings pleasure, I've eaten plain foods for a year, but now I scrape the whipped cream and red sauce of the cherry pastry from my plate. Beyond the cafe, fat cuddling pigeons lie on the ground as a mangy black and white cat absently stalks them. I notice that Gdansk smells of the sea when it starts to rain and shelter under the parasol over the table. Then I remind myself this isn't a holiday, it's a remembrance. Of course, I've wondered why I never told someone when I found those pictures on his computer, looking for proof of an affair of all things. I couldn't bear to confront him. I panicked, and by then he was drinking more, disappearing more, and coming home covered in black, violent silences. Besides, I had no one to tell. I'd lost contact with all of my friends by then, 2 years into the relationship, and to my workmates, I was just efficient Julie. So I buried it, a bitter seed, and I did nothing for fear of doing something. I just held those awful pictures in my mind and was grateful he'd stopped touching me over a year ago. The train has plastic cherry red seats that somehow beg for licking and windows scratched with initials. It's so long since I've been on a train, I won't catch the tube for fear of being recognised and trapped, and I've forgotten how good the gentle thrum of the wheels can feel, how watching the world slip by feels like an escape in itself, even without a destination in mind. The same girl at the guest house told me about this place last night. She cut an apple and gave me a slice, and I tried to work out how long it had been since I'd had a conversation with someone like a friend. I am 33 now, and I have no one. The shipyards are very interesting and somehow beautiful. You should go now because they're taking them down. Taking them down? Wrecking them to put up modern houses. She took a contemptuous bite of her apple. Crazy. I get off the train and climb the wooden train station stairs, worn from the front from all the heavy feet arriving and leaving them. In the distance, 3 green cranes stand tall against the horizon, giant metal insects waiting to wreak havoc on civilians like the violent films he liked to watch so much. I pass the security guard, his small, unyielding eyes bright blue against the piggish tinge of his skin. I may as well be invisible to him, and he can't possibly know what a joy that is to me. I see the pink museum banner in the distance, but I walk towards the grassy area by the road, where a few scrappy wildflowers grow, sparks of colour brave enough to push through the dull earth. I look just beyond the museum where the old red brick tenements like the ones I grew up in are. I bounced my space hopper down landings like that when I was 5. On someone's balcony, laundry sighs back and forth in the wind in a slight breeze. The sun shines a white light through the grey clouds outlining their shape. Today, it is 3 years ago that I tried to do the right thing. I was trying. I sit on the grass looking towards the wrecked yards, a crowd of workmen pass on bicycles, each with one trouser leg rolled up, but they pay no attention to me. I push my fingers into the earth beneath the grass to hold myself up and turn my face towards the sky and the ships in the distance. A small boy runs ahead of his parents who are leaving the museum and, catching one clunky sandal on the other, trips and falls in front of me. Instinctively I move to go to him, but he is already standing, giggling back at his parents who are shouting something in German. He rubs his knees and looks over to me. I smile and wave at him, and he looks towards his parents, then back at me, lifts his hand and waves in return. He's missing 2 teeth from the bottom row. Then he's running again, away from his parents towards the mountains of dry wrecked timber piled up from the demolition of this place. I tell myself everything passes, and though it's gone almost as soon as I have thought it, I hope it will stick like a grain of sand in my guts, that after enough years it might become a pearl that will save me from this loneliness that is worse than